Dear colleagues, dear friends, I think I have a very complicated task because my presentation will be absolutely dramatic because to speak after Shimon Peres and after lunch, it's not so good. And better to speak before Peres and before lunch. But I will try to keep you not only informed, but a little bit excited, because I want to speak not formally with you and using the opportunity that all of us are friends and colleagues to speak directly about Tachlis. We are just now in front of many challenges and crises. The list of challenges and crises is very long, starting from economical crisis, then we go to environmental crisis, then we go to a lot of other challenges, but we have to make priorities. And if we go to priorities, we see, and we understand all of us, that we have in front of us two bombs which are frightening us. One is the bomb which is cooked and continue to be cooked in Iran and other so-called H countries like Northern Korea, like also the bomb which is already possessed by the government in Pakistan, and I believe there are a lot of dirty bombs in northern Afghanistan. And these bombs are going to be proliferated out of legal field. And the second bomb is the bomb of Yasser Arafat. We remember very well how he pronounced one very, I can say, strong formula. With the bomb of Arabic lady, of Arabic woman, we don't need better atomic weapon. And we see the result of the situation. We see that in all countries of Europe, the population, the aggressive part of Islamic population grows and grows every day. And what we have in return on Jewish street and on non-Jewish street. And I remember the expression, which is very relevant in this situation, the expression which was pronounced in the 13th century by the philosopher Foma Akvinsky. He called this phenomena ignoranta affectata. When the communities do not want to hear or to listen something which is not comfortable for them. And this is exactly the picture we have everywhere in the world. How to return attention, the communities, non-Jewish street, Jewish street, to our values, to our concerns, to our challenges. A lot of talks we had today. By the way, I personally and the European delegation, we appreciate very much the first part of our session. Excellent, bravo. We talk a lot about media, important, money, important. But what to do with money and what to do with media? Are we ready to invest a lot of money today in some concrete products? Are we ready to say that we know where to go and how to go? I think no. We do not have the attractive product for Jews and non-Jews to follow us. And we have the right for initiative because of our history, because of the history of Jewish people. maybe the only one recognizable right that we have is the right for initiative. But where is our ideology? And I want to propose you something for discussion. I prepared myself for a long time to this talk. I think that the uniting factor in the world at the moment is the institution, the concept of global security. And there is another factor which is called tolerance. There is no such a thing anymore in the beginning of the 21st century as national security. Nobody in the world, no one country in the world cannot be satisfied by the security which is inside some national borders. Security could be only global. It is valid for Israel. It is valid for diaspora in any country. It is valid for big players like European Union, like Russia, and like America. This is real common value. Another thing, tolerance. I remember very much the inauguration speech of Madame Merkel when she came for the first time the President of European Union. She pronounced 34 times the word tolerance in her speech. And there is a very exact explanation why. Because tolerance is the spirit of the old spirit and a word of the old Europe. But let's ask ourselves, do we know what is really tolerance? My answer, I do not know. We think that tolerance is something like a pill or like an intention. Starting from today, I am tolerant. No. On the opposite, tolerance is a very complicated thing. It's a subject of very strong academical research. It's a subject of very strong legislation process. It's a subject of practice in all fields of human being activity. And this is the real value, common value for Jews and for non-Jews. But next question. What should be the steps? How we understand the tolerance? One could ask us a question. Maybe it's very easy formula. As much tolerance as possible will be better. Not at all. We know very well what means unlimited tolerance if we deal with such things as xenophobia, anti-Semitism, any type of extremism, racism, and etc. It means, this example shows us, that tolerance always should be limited, framed. We should be limited by the secure borders of the tolerance. And I think the demand of the day is the interaction between two concepts, the concept of global security and the concept of secure tolerance. A few years ago, we discussed these questions or similar questions here in the same room. And we came to the conclusion that for our goal will be very much important to establish some non-Jewish institution which can help us on regular basis to move our products, which could be lately used in media processes and could be the subject of strong investment. I can report you with my pleasure that 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, we established, together with the former president of Poland, a very strong institution, which is called ECTR, European Council of Tolerance and Reconciliation. In this organization, we have 20 members. All these members are former presidents and prime ministers of Europe. Aznar, Garson, Gavel, and etc. Very impressive list. We do already regularly the meetings of this ECTR, and I can tell you, we came to the conclusion in this organization. I'm co-chairman of this organization, and I represent our organization in this council. We came to the conclusion that we can speak a lot about ideas, about ideology, but finally we should make the first step. In our Jewish tradition, you know, there is a custom. When Jewish people are staying in front of big challenge, we are not separate ourselves from the problem. We do not produce Chinese wall. We do a university. If you remember the destruction of the Second Temple, the renaissance of our tradition started from the university in Yamni. It's the same story completely. We propose to establish somewhere in old Europe the University of Global Security and Secure Tolerance. It should be a political university with very strong and very particular agenda. It should be a research center and educational center. And this university should produce the most important thing, the trunk of this tree of tolerance. And the trunk of this tree of tolerance, because as I see it, and as I'm trying to present you this approach, the tolerance should be very, very multi-dimensional subject. But the main thing in this subject is the list, and very big and impressive list, of the laws. How to manage all our negative processes we are facing today. And the main product of such university should be this legislation process, valid for Europe, and then using these models for any national legislation. You can ask me, it's a very long story. It's not a fast decision. But it's a good decision. It's a proper decision, maybe for next 20, 25 years. Do we have something better? If we need fast decisions, we can speak a little bit later about this, and if, with your permission, if I am in time, I don't see. I can propose you something. But this is, as I see, this is very important approach, the university. And this could be done on basis of the existing university. Even it could be not one university. If somebody of our colleagues want to do it in Latin America or in Asia, somewhere else, this idea could be used and I have no any objections. It's not the subject of legal rights. If we speak about so-called operating reaction, we return to the main thing which is very much disturbing us, the Iranian threat. I do not think, and it's my opinion, that we can do a lot in this direction. We can help the State of Israel. We can help big players like Russia and America by, again, initiative to make the strong decision about Iran. For example, I think that we are very close to see that the Council of Security will accept in soon future full weapon embargo of Iran, including double technologies. This is in the air, and I believe sooner or later it will happen. Another thing which is very important, I see that Russia and America started to collaborate really about Iranian issue. And for me, it's a very positive process. We are close that this silent conspiracy, leaving Israel alone with the problem of Iran, is going down. I believe in this. Because the scenario when Israel is alone in front of Iran and one day should be obliged to make this cleaning function for other mankind, I think this scenario is going less and less probable. I believe in this. I hope this. But what could be done by big guys? And what we could recommend it. Because you know, another our initiative of European Jewish Congress is to establish so-called Luxembourg Forum, where we have 60 top experts in the world in the field which is called preventing the nuclear catastrophe. And the main idea of this Luxembourg Forum today is to establish again somewhere in Europe a headquarter of two countries. Not necessarily at all, and even better, not on the level of the presidents, but on the level of the generals who could make operating decision in case of the danger coming from Iran. Technical decision, not political, technical decision. And this technical decision could educate properly the regime of Iran. I see that my time is going to be finished, but I want to tell you, just to conclude these remarks. Again, we have the right for initiative. And it is written in the Bible. The seeds of salvation will grow if we put, not somebody else, we put them in the fertilized soil. Thank you very much.